By the end of this video, you're going to be able to send scraped data from a Browse AI robot into Excel using Zapier. Let's jump into it. First, you're going to need a robot on Browse AI that you can send the data into Zapier. So I've got this one here that is extracting an apps list from the Zapier app directory. Very convenient for this demo. And you do need to create your Excel spreadsheet before you start building in Zapier. And that spreadsheet needs to have a header row. So what you can do is you can come to the table for your robot in Browse AI, copy the columns you're going to want here, and then go to the Excel spreadsheet, select the whole row, and then paste it. That way you'll have the exact names and the ones you want as the header row. So we're now ready to go into Zapier. The trigger is going to be, unsurprisingly, in Browse AI, and trigger event will be new task. There is only one. Select or connect to your appropriate account here, and then click continue. On this step, you have to select the team, or now called workspace, in Browse AI. If you're a member of multiple, they will show up here. Otherwise, you may just have one, and you'll only have one option to choose in your dropdown. Just make sure you're picking the correct one, because that can change whether you find the robot you need and whether anything works. So demo Browse AI. Robot first. Robot's going to be Zapier, extract apps list from Zapier. Event type will be one of these. You can choose change detected in captured data, task finished successfully, or task failed. This would be if you wanted error notifications, for example. I'll click task finished successfully. And now I'll click continue down here to go test and get a sample. So I'm going to test the trigger to pull in some sample data from my robot. Let's click on the top one to see what's inside. Okay. It scraped the marketing category of the Zapier apps list. Perfect. Said there should be 25 items. And this is the app list. If I scroll down, you can see all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks good. I'm going to click continue with selected record, and let's move on to Excel. Now for Excel, there's something very important to note. The action event has to be add rows, plural. Otherwise, if you do add row, all your data will go into one single row, and that's not what we want. We want each of the rows collected from your robot to go into a new row in Excel. So add rows with line item support. We'll select that one. If you haven't yet selected or connected your account, do so here and click continue. On this step, you may have to change these depending on your setup. In my case, it's OneDrive and it's at the root folder, so I'm not going to change that. The spreadsheet is called Zapier app directory. Now, you may do a search and find nothing. The suggestion here by Zapier is to try loading more results. I'll click that, and sure enough, there we are, Zapier app directory. And the worksheet is demo. I've got one called end results, which I can show you here. End result is a preview of what is to come, but I'm sending it to demo, which currently has no data inside of it. So let's go through and map each of these data fields for Excel. Rather than click on the plus symbol on the right, you can actually do /. And when I have a list of items coming from Browse AI, I like to type the word list to narrow down the data that I'm looking through here. So it's called position. So I'll click position here. Do the same here, /, and I'll type list and then do name. You could search for these words, position, name, description. List is shorter, honestly, and then I just have to select from probably not that many options. I like to do it this way. /, and I'll type list again, and then link. And then lastly, I've got logo, type list, click logo. All right, and I'll click continue. So now it's time to test this step. I'll click on the test step button, and we can go over after I see that this has been successful. All right, let's go over to the spreadsheet, refresh it, and see if the data has come through. All right, there we are. The data has come through. Perfect. So this is functioning. Let's go back to Zapier and let's publish this app and then run it live. Okay, Zap is published. Let's go to the app directory and pick a different category. Let's do sales and CRM. I'll copy this URL, go back to my robot in Browse AI, go to the Run Task tab, and instead of running marketing again, let's do a different category. So you can see different apps come through. The beauty of this trigger, the Browse AI new task trigger on Zapier, is that it is, let me zoom in, an instant trigger, meaning the second we send data over, it will trigger the Zap, and the Zap will send to Excel, and it's all very fast. So once this is done, I'll go over to the spreadsheet just a few moments later, and you should see the data in there. Okay, I'm spinning up a new server on the cloud, simulating user actions. You can see up here the number of list items that it's gotten. Oh, it went from 1 to 25. That's how fast it was. So in a second here, we'll see the success and the results. All right, here we go. So we can scroll down. These do look different. Scheduled by Zapier, Google Forms. These are not the same apps. So I'll come over here and look at that. They're already in here. That's how fast it is. So that is how to set up Excel to get data from a robot using Zapier. Hopefully you found this helpful, and we'll see you in the next one.